Good morning, everyone. On today's show, we've got an interesting update regarding a fighting game and a weird guest character appearance. You're going to see what I mean. Plus, in regards to fighting games, something that we were talking about weeks ago is starting to sink in with the FGC regarding Street Fighter 6. Plus, we'll have some interesting updates regarding PlayStation Plus, Xbox Game Pass, and more. And last night, we came to a determination regarding the upcoming DSP tries at goal. There's been a swap. So, we got a lot to talk about. Sit back and relax. All this and more on today's episode of the Level 1 Podcast.
Get ready for some meaningful content, because the king is back, the king of the live stream, the king is back. Woo!
Alrighty, folks, welcome to the show. I hope you're all doing well. Today is Wednesday, the 26th of March, 2025, and there's only one stream today. Okay? Reason being, I need to actually take the time to finish up doing my yearly federal taxes, and I did about half of it last week, and I didn't finish it, and I've been delaying it, and I'm like, I really got to get it done. So tonight, that's it. I got to spend my whole night, probably like 4 hours, working on that, but after this, hopefully, it'll be done, and then we can get back to normalcy and a regular schedule of streaming. It is what it is, okay? So, because of that, today we got the podcast, and we got an awesome chill stream of Suikoden, the RPG from the PS1 era that I've been playing the HD remaster / remake of in the last couple of weeks. It's been great. I've really enjoyed this game. At this point, we're around 12, 13 hours in, maybe even a little further. And having a great time. And surprisingly enough, every single time that we have played this game, if you can believe it, I've actually hit my support goals. And that's amazing. That's shocking. I didn't expect that. In fact, I told you guys that this game is one of the ones I wanted to play the most this year, but I was afraid that I was not going to be able to do it, because whenever I play classic RPGs, typically people don't show up, don't engage, and don't support. Well, this particular game has been the opposite. We absolutely have hit all the goals. We've got great support. Everything's been great. So I'm happy for that. And I really sincerely hope we keep that up. I love the game. I want to keep playing it. So far, we've done a great job of recruiting all of the characters in the game. And keeping up with it. I actually don't know how many we have yet. I would think maybe around half, because we've been recruiting like crazy. So hopefully you guys will stick around after the podcast and hang out with me. It is a chill vibe and a chill atmosphere. There's a lot of interaction. There's a lot of talking when we play. And I hope that you guys will give it a shot if you haven't yet. It really is an old school vibe, but has a great story. It's one of the best stories in any RPG I've ever played, actually. And the story is just getting better and better, right? So good stuff there. And I hope that you guys are okay with me only doing the one stream today, okay? Now, we have a lot to talk about today, lots of topics. We have some gaming news updates. The weather here is kind of weird, all kinds of stuff. Let's just talk about the weather quickly. So we were supposed to have a one-day heat wave yesterday, where it was going to be around the mid to high 70s Fahrenheit outside, but because the sun was out all day yesterday, my office heated up to over 95 degrees. So I actually did this podcast in a button-down shirt and pants, and by the end of the podcast, I was so overheated and sweating that people were like, you should just go change your clothes. So I did. I went to a short sleeve shirt and shorts and did the entire day streaming like that. It was so hot in here. All right, it really was. And even with the two fans, because now I have a ceiling fan and I have the oscillating fan, it rotated the air, so that's good. It made it so that it wasn't unbearable, but man, it gets hot whenever there's sun. Well, got through yesterday, and then they had changed the weather and said that it was going to be a 2-day heat wave, and now it was going to be today as well. And everyone's like, oh boy, all right, well, I guess we'll get ready for it again, right? Well, guess what? Supposedly there is a heat wave today, but there's no sun. How can you have a heat wave with no sun? I don't even understand it. The weather doesn't even make sense. They're like, oh, it's going to be like 70, 80 degrees, but there's no sun. Then it's not going to be 70, 80 degrees. What they are saying is that later today, not during the daytime like afternoon, but later into the night, we have an incredibly strong chance of crazy powerful thunderstorms. Now, the reason that that's weird is because we almost never have thunderstorms in the Pacific Northwest of the U.S. It's a rarity that we would have it. When I used to live in Connecticut on the East Coast of the U.S., we had them all the time, and it wasn't a big deal. But it actually makes me wonder what's going to happen with the infrastructure here, because the infrastructure out here is just so weird. Like, we get strong winds and the power goes out. Winds? You mean like where they have everywhere else on the planet? Yeah, because out here they just don't prepare. We get a tiny bit of snow, like an inch, and the whole state closes down. So I don't know what's going to happen tonight. I hope that the power stays on so that I can actually do my taxes. It would really suck if the power goes out and I'm sitting around with nothing to do when I had planned out this time to do this work, okay? So I guess we're going to see what happens when the rain hits. But the thing is, I don't actually think it's going to be that hot in here today because there's no sun. As long as there's no sun, this room is bearable. So even if it's hot, I think I'm okay. It's going to be a much better day today than it was yesterday when it was just like unbearable heat. I guess we'll see. But anyway, I prepared. I'm still wearing, like summer attire here, as you can see, to prepare for it. So if it's not warm, I guess I'm good. I'll just be a little bit on the cooler side. Okay? Okay. So moving on. So now you know the weather hopefully won't affect today's stream. We got a few things to discuss. One thing I want to check right away is yesterday I was having crazy tech issues with my camera. What camera? Well, not the camera that I'm using right now for the podcast, but this camera. Okay? This is the camera that I use for my face cam for gameplay. And I love it now. I think the quality is great. It's a way better face cam than anything I did before. And I've really enjoyed having a variable camera that can zoom in or move around with AI and do all this stuff, right? It's really useful. So, last night, I'm playing Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. And about halfway through the stream, I just go to move, and I had the AI enabled. And when the AI is enabled, this camera follows me around the room. And I started to move. The camera went crazy. The camera literally started going like this, like crazy, like it's having a seizure. And it was wigging everyone out. Me and everyone was like, whoa, like what the hell is going on? I never seen that before. Why is it doing that? So we tried to figure it out, and we couldn't. Like every time I turned on the AI, if I just sat still like this, it was fine. Even if I moved just a little bit. But if I tried to go to the side where it would actually make the camera fully turn, it would just freak out. Now, we had all these theories. Could it have been my shirt that I was wearing last night? Could it have been that it was very hot in here and that was affecting it? I have a fan on now, the oscillating fan, and we've never done that before with this camera. So there's all these different, ideas, but no one could really figure it out. All right? So now it's been a good 13, 14 hours. The camera's been off. Okay? I think it's time for a live test. Shall we? So I enable the AI tracking. It's now on. And I'm just simply going to move a little bit around and see what happens. If it goes crazy, I apologize. I'll try to fix it. Ready? It seems to be working again. Well, that's good. But man, it was wild last night. Like the part of the video, the playthrough, I titled it, "The camera's been possessed by a demon." Because it was crazy. It felt like someone was grabbing the camera and strangling it. It was going like wobbling all over. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just check out last night's part of Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. I think it's part 21. Because it was like the highlight of that video. Pretty wild. But anyway, it looks fine now. See, look, fully turning. Stand up a little bit. Yep, look. Turning up and down. Yeah, it's working. Well, that's good. I want the face cam to obviously work. Maybe it was that it overheated, in which case I'm a little nervous. That means that if it gets hot again and I don't have the air conditioner in, the camera might keep malfunctioning. I mean, I hope not. I hope that's just a kind of a one-time thing. I don't know what caused it, but all right. Well, good news is it works right now. Let's turn the AI off for now and get back to normal here. Yeah, Dumpy Koala. I tested it on the Daily Wrap, and it also had that issue. So I don't know. I honestly don't know what caused it. It's just bizarre. But we'll see what happens today. I'm only doing the one stream today. The thing is, I used that camera all day yesterday for Call of Duty, and it didn't do it. It only did it on the late stream and only the second half of the Pirate Yakuza stream. So maybe it was an overheating factor. I don't know. So here's the deal. Essentially, what's going to happen is today's hot, but not really. It'll be hot, but it won't be like as hot as yesterday. Then we get back to like normal Pacific Northwest weather again for the spring. So that means the days are only going to be like in the 50s, maybe 60, but a lot of rain. So I'm not going to put the air conditioner in, but the next time that we get a heat wave, I'm just going to put it in. All right. And by the way, it should be a lot better now this year. Why? Because now I have these blackout curtains with insulation rather than the old blinds that were crappy. The old blinds that I had didn't block the sun properly, did not insulate from heat or cold at all. It just kind of was messy. These now, the actual air conditioning should go behind these curtains, no problem, should insulate well and should keep the cold in well. So because of that, I should actually have a nice condition in this room now, way better than I used to. So we'll see. Fingers crossed, but I'm hoping for the best. All these nice upgrades that I've done in the last 6 to 8 months are panning out and actually working out nicely for the future. Okay? All right, so camera works. Weather's good. All right, let's get to it. Let's talk about last night, because last night we actually had an interesting discussion on the late stream. So, on the late stream last night, we were talking about various things, and one of the things we were talking about was the current reward goal for when we hit 80 goals hit here on the streams. Currently, we're at 75, all right? So we're halfway to 80. And, I have today's stream. We have tomorrow 2 streams. I'm not here Friday or Saturday this week. So it is a shorter streaming week for me. So chances are, unless we get a really big rally of support today or tomorrow, I'm not going to hit the goal this week, okay? And there's nothing I can really do about that. Fair enough? Just so everyone knows, if you rally and support, thank you. That would be amazing if we hit the goal by the end of the week. But it's already a shorter streaming week, and I have a stream missing tonight. I mean, too many missed streams for me to really hit the goals this week, okay? But we talked about it last night, and people were like, well, the reward is that you're going to try Taco Time, which is this chain of, fast food, Mexican-style food that's really only focused in the Pacific Northwest of the United States. Other places don't have it. So a lot of people were interested, okay, very interested, at basically me doing something that was different and unique rather than just keep going to chains that are established that everyone can go to. So that's why we said we would do that, right? Well, guess what? What ends up happening is we're talking about this last night, and someone comes into the stream and says, hey, Phil, are you aware that Chick-fil-A has a new sandwich? And I said, I'm well aware. We talked about this actually earlier in the week. And, the kick game title's wrong. I'll fix it then. We talked about this earlier in the week, and, oh, yeah, I didn't update it at all. My bad. Let me update Kick. I forgot to update Kick completely. It even has the wrong date and everything. It's my fault. Sorry about that, everybody. Let me fix it. So now Kick should be fixed. My bad if you're a Kick viewer. I had the schedule right, but I didn't update all the stats on the stream, and that's on me. Sorry about that. Slipped my mind. Now it should be good. Thank you for telling me. Okay. All right. So someone comes in and says, hey, did you hear about this new sandwich at Chick-fil-A? I'm like, yeah, we were looking at food items, just a few days ago on the podcast, and it did come up, and we talked about it, but it just looked like one sandwich. It didn't look like a big deal or whatever. And they were like, oh, no, it is a big deal, because if you're not aware, like Chick-fil-A, like never has new stuff, like ever. They always just have the same menu. So it's actually like a big deal when they get something new, and all the people who do the fast food tastings try it and everything. And this sandwich perhaps is limited time. They're kind of advertising it as limited time. So you should probably do this like right away. And I was like, really? You think that's interesting? And then apparently I found out they have a new drink too. So they have a new drink and they have a new sandwich. So it's 2 new things to try at Chick-fil-A. And so we're talking about it, and basically the determination that we came to, all right, was that Taco Time isn't going anywhere. Taco Time is literally a business that's going to be out here like forever. And therefore, it makes sense for me to do the limited time stuff while it's available for a limited time and then go do the other normal stuff later on in between the limited time items. So, for example, this week makes sense to maybe do this sandwich at Chick-fil-A and the drink. And then next week is the launch of the Minecraft meals at McDonald's. And I should do those during the launch week of that. See, but then after that, when we get back to normal stuff and there's no limited time options, then I should go back to the ones that are just all the time. All right. So that's what we're going to do. We talked about it last night. We determined it. And I said, all right, let's do it then. All right. So this week, when we hit 80 goals, it's going to be DSP Tries It, the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Sandwich, and I believe it's the Pineapple Dragon Fruit Drink. I think it's either a shake or an icy. I'm not sure, but that's like their new thing because they just got dragon fruit drinks at Chick-fil-A for the first time ever. So they have just like the regular version, which is just like almost like a lemonade, but it's dragon fruit flavored. But then they have a shake that has it in it. So I could do either basically. So that's going to be the next reward. All right. The next episode of DSP Tries It coming up at 80 goals hit. Okay. So I hope that is more interesting to you than, say, Taco Time, because it seems like at first Taco Time was exciting and then people were like, well, I'm not that interested. So hopefully now you guys will be a little more interested. And if it's good, maybe it's something you'll go out and check out yourself, because that is the appeal of DSP Tries It, is that, you know, if I try the item and it ends up being good, then you get interested. You can go get it for yourself. Or if it's bad, then you can skip it. And that's what a lot of people do when they watch the show. Okay? All right. Jasper Kitty. He won't let me run my show. I'm trying to run the show and he's crawling all over me. He's being a nut. Okay. Silly boy. Okay. So that's what we're doing. All right. So speaking of which, last night we did hit the goal for Pirate Yakuza. And I was shocked because Pirate Yakuza hasn't been getting great support, but we actually got more than halfway to the goal, and then someone dropped a big contribution near the end of the stream. So we hit it and we got to 75. All right. Now, today, it's Suikoden. All right. Suikoden, we have historically always done well. I'm not kidding. Like, we're like, 5-6 streams in, and every time we've played the game, we've hit the goal. I'm shocked, just like you. I never thought that a classic style JRPG would actually be something that would work. I thought this is going to be the game that every time I play it, no one's going to show up, everyone's going to complain that it sucks, and I'm going to get no support, but I love this game, and I hope that people will see that I have passion for the classics, and I really want to play this. I wanted to play this one with you guys for years and years. So I'm very excited that we're doing it together, and I hope that you guys are having a good time, that are sticking around. There's people who are here every time, and they're helping me to recruit the characters and everything, and I appreciate that because I love this game. It's really great, okay? So, today, since I'm only doing one stream, let's follow suit. Today, for the one stream, all right, let's hit the goal. Let's get to 76 and keep that momentum rolling into tomorrow, my final streaming day of the week, all right? Let's get some support going. We actually have our first contribution right now. It's a $5 tip from Flatman B. He says, what's up, everyone? Happy Wednesday. God bless and positive vibes. Thank you to Flatman for a $5 tip. I appreciate that. And for the record, Flatman last night, he'd been trying to contact me apparently for several days, but I kept getting, his emails kept going to spam. But he did contact me last night, and he says, I've been on your streams regularly now for a couple of weeks. I like your content. And, I'd like to help out as a part-time moderator for when I'm there. And I said, sure. So Flatman has been made a part-time moderator. He's not going to be there all the time, but for when he's here, he's going to help out moderating the chat. Okay? So thank you to Flatman for your support, and thank you for offering to help moderate as well. Okay? So I'm being asked by James, if the good support continues for Suikoden, will you play the sequel sooner? To be honest with you, I never even thought about playing the sequel at this time. I always thought, well, the first game isn't going to do good. So because of that, I'm not going to talk about the sequel. If support stays good for this game, yes, absolutely. I would consider playing the sequel this year, maybe even over the summer. Right now, obviously for the spring, we're going to play through 1. Then we're probably going to give it a little bit of a rest because you don't want to go back to back samey content like that because it does get boring. Like I've tried doing Mario into Mario and Sonic into Sonic and stuff like that. And it becomes too much, especially for a longer game. But absolutely, if the support keeps coming, if people keep showing up and engaging and hanging out and having a good time the way that they have, I would consider playing the sequel this year as well. Okay? So if that's more incentive to come by and hang out and support these streams, then please do. Yes, I love it. And 2 is just as good as 1, if not better. I remember that 2 had some improvements to it that I really liked. So, yeah, I am down for it if you guys are. All right. Like I said, probably during the summertime, that would be a great time to do it when there's a lot of downtime. It seems like right now, the one thing going on in the summer will be the Switch 2, which is great, but the Nintendo first-party titles will only last so long. So maybe that'd be a perfect time to then jump into Suikoden 2, right? I guess we'll see. Okay. Does it? Does it carry your save over from the first game? It does, doesn't it? And I think I'm remembering. I think if you got all 108, if you get all 108 of the characters in the first game, I think it carries over and something special happens in the second game. I'm almost positive. And this is one of the rare occurrences where a save file on PS1 would actually affect a future game of the series. There were very few games that happened, but this was one of them, if I remember correctly. I'm starting to remember now. Yeah. Okay. Cool. It's a small encounter, but it's very cool. I think I remember it. I think I'm remembering it now. Yeah. Cool. All right. So listen, thank you guys for your support. Thanks for your positive suggestions. Let's keep this pattern going. Let's hit the goal on this one stream I'm doing today so that Suikoden, is it Suikoden? Suikoden? I don't know. I don't care. I'm just going to pronounce it every different way every time I say it just to piss people off. But anyway, yes, please support the stream and let's keep it rolling. And yeah, number 1, Chick-fil-A, DSP tries it coming up next, which I think will be exciting. Number 2, if this playthrough keeps getting supported well, probably I'll play the sequel this week for sure. I don't see why, or not this week, this year for sure. I don't see why I wouldn't. Yeah, all this good stuff coming. Okay? Cool? All right. So an obvious sock account just did a $5 super chat saying, what's the value proposition of your streams? It's this simple. You're getting someone who has been in this business for 17 years, who has absolutely no incentive to say that a game is good or bad, but is honest, straight down the middle, and a straight shooter. Every time that you watch me play a game, you know you're getting my honest reaction and feedback. I'm not shilling something to you, but I'm also not crapping on something because neither benefits me. Okay? When you come to my streams, you get a chill vibe, a nice relaxed atmosphere of fun. It feels like you're kind of with a friend playing a game and watching them play, right? At the same time, you get to see some awesome, funny moments when I rage at certain games, because that's kind of my shtick when I play multiplayer, is I'm always kind of angry, right? So, yeah, you come by and you say, hey, I'm going to have a good time with games and with Phil, whether he's podcasting, whether he's playing a game, whether he's building a Lego set, whether he's having a chill night with an indie game or a big AAA game or a big multiplayer game or a single-player RPG. It's just a nice, relaxed, honest, positive atmosphere. No one's getting hurt. No content is destroying anyone on the internet. I don't put out that kind of content, and I don't want to, and I never want to. I aspire to be something better than that. Even if it means that I'm small time because I'm not a sellout and I'm not a big bully, I still get to make a living doing what I love. And at the end of the day, no one is hurt in the process. So that's the value proposition of my content. And if you don't understand that or get it, well, there's nothing I can really do to change that. But if you hang out for a while, I think you'll have a good time. Okay. Let's get that on the leaderboard. And I'm just going to call that person Obvious Sock Account because it is an obvious sock account. But thanks for the $5 super chat regardless. Okay. All right. So now all that being said, let's get some support rolling today. We've got our first super chat and our first tip. Let's get a membership. How about a sub over on Kick? Let's get a little bit of momentum going throughout all the different ways to contribute. All right. And that's the thing. Once you get momentum rolling, it actually comes naturally. It really does. That's what I've noticed is once you start pushing towards a goal or pushing towards a milestone, then people want to hit that goal. They want to support, but it's all about that initial push. So if we can get that going, I guarantee you that on this podcast, we'll actually do really well. That's what's happened is when I've played Suikoden, every time I play it during the podcast, the momentum gets moving. And then by the end of the show, we get close to or sometimes even hit the goal. So we don't have to worry about it when I'm playing the game and we can just focus on the chill vibes of the game. So let's do that, right? So who's going to be the next super chatter? Let's get a member. We don't have any memberships right now or subs. Let's get our first sub over on Kick. And who's going to top that $5 tip from Flatman B? Let's get some momentum rolling on the stream. Okay. Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce the game, and no one seems to be able to tell me. People said it's Suikoden, it's Suikoden, it's Suikoden, it's Suikoden. No one can actually tell me how to pronounce it. I don't think anyone actually knows. Keep in mind, these games were made in the 90s when there was no verbal pronunciation of anything. No one was making videos. It was all print text, so people talked about the game in a magazine. How do you say it? I don't fucking know. No one knew. Like I said, for the longest time, we always said Ryu in Street Fighter 2. We never said Ryu. We didn't know his name was Ryu. We thought his name was Ryu. Everyone called him Ryu. So there you go. Suikoden? Is it Suikoden? It's not soy. So it's Suikoden. 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 All right, Suikoden. There you go. I'm going to say it just like this. So today we're playing Suikoden. And then everyone gets upset. How dare I say it like that when I'm white, right? Very offensive. Okay. Damien, thank you for a $10 super chat. He says, I'm here for the push today. Thank you, Damien. Damien has been here, I think, for every Suikoden stream and has supported all of them. So thank you very much, Damien, for that. That's our top contribution of the day so far. Let's get that on the leaderboard. I can't. Hold on a second. My positioning is off, so I can't move my mouse. Okay, there we go. Jeez. Okay. So now we're up to 20 of support and climbing. Again, once we get the momentum rolling, we can keep it rolling. So let's keep it rolling. Who's next, right? Who's going to top that tip? Let's get someone to top the $5 tip. All right? Me too, Damien. I love the game too. Suikoden is a great game. Okay. All right. So anyway, great. Let's just briefly look at the schedule. Sadly, I don't have a long schedule to show you because I'm off so many days this week. It's a weird week for sure. So here we go. As you can see, today it's just Suikoden. It's Suikoden, excuse me. Suikoden. No stream tonight because I got to work on the tax shit. All right. Tomorrow, full day. And I'm excited for tomorrow. We got the premiere of Atomfall. I don't know if it's going to be good or not. It's a Game Pass game. We've seen the trailer for it. It seems interesting. I'm going to give it a shot tomorrow. Hopefully it's good. Like, I legit hope that it's a good game, but we don't know yet, right? So Atomfall tomorrow. And then tomorrow night, Smart Guys co-broadcast on DSP Reacts channel on YouTube and on the Kick channel, DSP Gaming Reel. And yes, my first in a series of guests co-hosts will be Ethan Rell. And we're going to talk all about wrestling. So I hope that you guys will enjoy. We're going to talk about SmackDown and Raw, and then obviously his history with wrestling and go back and forth a little bit. And it's going to be a good time. All right. I hope you'll join me for that tomorrow night. It's going to be a good one. Then I'm off on Friday and Saturday. Okay? And I know that's weird. Usually I'm not off 2 days a week, but I got some stuff I got to take care of this week. Going to try to spend some time with my wife. And then I'll be back on Sunday for a full 6 days of streaming. So here's the deal. There is a weekend beta of Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. Okay? This is the game that I played, what was it, last month? And it was fun, but it was very laggy. I liked playing the game. I liked the game mechanics, but it was very hard to learn them when the game just lagged endlessly and had no training mode. Okay? You couldn't practice at all, so you couldn't really learn anything because the game lagged too much in the online play. So they have a second beta, which I'm excited for, except it's only during the weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's it. Well, I'm not here Friday, Saturday. Well, shit. And the thing is that really sucks. They unlocked a ton more characters to play in this thing. And I was like, oh, this is excellent. I can try all these characters. And I find out that it's during the time that I can't be here. And like, come on. So I am going to play it as the daytime stream on Sunday. I hope you'll show up and support it, but I don't know how well it's going to do. I've already played a lot of that beta when it was out last month. And quite frankly, people kind of got tired of it. Like after playing it 3+ times that weekend, people got tired of the beta and it actually didn't do so well near the end. So now I'm playing it as the day stream because it's the only one opportunity I have, and hopefully the connections are better. But I guess we'll see what happens, okay? So that is the day stream on Sunday. And then Sunday night, we're going to continue on with Disco Elysium, which I played on Monday night, and I very much enjoyed. It's an incredibly unique game, a point-and-click adventure that has a ton of dialogue, very unique with the way that stats work and everything. And so I hope that you will join me on Sunday night for that. Now, this week coming up, you'll see the continuation of Suikoden. You'll see the continuation of Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. If we like Atomfall tomorrow, you'll see a lot more Atomfall. There may be a step back from multiplayer. Why? Well, I'll tell you, there's a couple reasons. Number one, if you haven't noticed, the multiplayer stuff just isn't doing as well anymore. For example, Call of Duty yesterday, we did not hit the goal. Now, we didn't have a bad stream. We did good, but I've noticed distinctly when I'm playing Call of Duty now, we're getting less people who are excited for it and less support. And I think that's because I've been playing it so much. I've been playing it since it came out, and then we kind of like hit the reset button back in January when I started playing on keyboard and mouse here. It felt like I was playing a whole new game, and therefore it felt like we're starting over, which was great. Like I enjoyed doing that, but I think a lot of people are just kind of burnt out on it now. So maybe we play it less. This coming week, maybe we just don't play it at all. I have heard there is a new event coming out right at the beginning of April. So I think what we should do is, at the very least, hold off on doing any Call of Duty gameplay until the new content releases in early April. Okay? I guess we'll see. All right? So that's probably going to be on hold this next week. I don't know about Street Fighter at all next week, because if I'm balancing, Suikoden, Like a Dragon, Atomfall, and Disco Elysium, okay? And I'm still doing Smart Guys. And on top of all of that, there's the possibility that I might be doing something like bringing in Lego Nights again. If we're doing all of that, I just don't see how on earth we're also going to be doing multiplayer games right now. So let's see how it goes. All right, but roughly that's what you can expect next week. Also keep in mind, in April, okay, there will be some new games. Here it is. South of Midnight launches April 8th, and I'm very interested in that one. It looked really good to me. Actual release of Fatal Fury City of the Wolves at the end of the month, and then we got that other RPG, Claire Obscure Expedition 33, that looks absolutely unique and amazing. And I'm very interested in that one too. So we've got some major new releases coming out in April to tackle, and therefore I need to kind of really focus on what I'm doing now to try to make progress and get through the games I'm playing so we have time for the new ones coming out, okay? Okay, cool. Karaoke night where people call in? What? What on earth are you talking about, Gars? Anyway. All right, so excellent. Now, let's take a look here. I received a $6 tip, and this tip is from Mars Inhabitant. It's okay to freely express yourself. Suikoden. Thanks for your streams. Evolution is a fact. Praise science. Wow. That was like 17 different ideas in one little message. Thank you for the $6 tip. Mars Inhabitant is now the top tipper of the day. Let's get them on the leaderboard. So now we're up to 26 bucks of support. So now, who's going to be the next top super chat? Who's actually going to do 10 bucks instead of $9.99? Who's going to be the next top tipper? Who's going to do like a $7 or $8 tip to become the top tipper of the day and get on the leaderboard? And also, so far, no gifted memberships and no subs. Let's get some momentum in that regard as well. Again, just a little bit gets the momentum flowing. So if we get one of each, then all of a sudden you're going to see people like, oh, okay, and then we're going to get more people contributing to hit that goal. And I would love to hit that goal by the end of this podcast. That would be ideal because, as you know, when we go to play Suikoden, basically people will tune out, which always happens. I know, it's an old school RPG. But if we've already hit the goal by then it doesn't matter, right? We've already completed it, and then we could just focus on the game, right? Cool. Okay. Let's do it. I mean, I see a lot of people over on Kick right now who don't have crowns, right? And a lot of people who definitely would like to benefit from having one, including all my emotes and all the awesome stuff that comes with it, all right? Who's going to gift a sub over on Kick? Let's get our first gifted sub, right? Damien, yes, I just said we're going to be doing more of Disco Elysium Sunday night. Now, this is funny. Someone named DSP Super Fan, but it has my O face from 2016, whose account was just created 7 minutes ago, just did a $20 super chat, and it's legit. It's a legit super chat because if it wasn't, it would say, like Argentinian or whatever. And they said, I love PSP. So they didn't even spell my name right. They just love PSP instead of DSP. Thanks for 20 bucks. You're now the top super chatter of the day. Appreciate that. I don't know why you did it on such a weird sock account, but there you go. It's 20 bucks, man. Thank you. Now we're up to 46 and climbing. It's just like I said, man, you guys are really, you're really sticking it to me when you throw chunks of money at me. Right? Like, wow, you really got me there. Thanks for the 44 gifted subs. You really stuck it to me. Oh, I felt it. You did it again. He had another $20 super chat. He says, we all love PSP. I don't know if he's talking about DSP or the actual PSP. Yeah, super chats. I'm telling you, super chats can't be charged back. They actually can't be. Once you do a super chat, it 100% is legit and it sticks. So I've gotten credit from every super chat ever. The trick is when someone uses one of the VPNs and they try to do a super chat and it looks huge and it ends up being like 10 cents. But these are legit. So I just got another $20 super chat from this guy. Thank you. Again, whoever this is, thank you. And now we're up to 66 bucks of support. Wow. Just like that. So thanks for the momentum. All right. Man, he really got me. I'm in lots of pain right now because he's using my O face from 2016 as his avatar. I can't take it. It's very embarrassing stuff, right? Okay. Anyway. Anyway. All right, moving on. So I have some actual news stories today to cover for you guys. If you want to, they're both regarding the FGC today. All right. What's up, McCoy? How you doing? If I made O-Face merch, you would buy it? See, I probably could now. I probably could make merch of that if I felt like it. I could. I don't know how many people would actually buy it, but I could make merch of that now if I felt like it because I have a merch shop and the merch shop works with me and does whatever I basically is okay. They don't give a shit. There was a time when I had intention to do stuff with that, and then basically it was like removed. Like, for example, I used to stream on Twitch, and I wanted to actually use that as an emote, and I added it, and Twitch denied it and said, "Oh, no, you can't do that. That's sexual content." I'm not kidding you. Twitch told me that my O-face was too strong sexual content for the site. I want you to think about Twitch and all the content that they have on that site, all right? But my O-face was too strong of sexual content, and they denied me using the emote. I'm not making that up. Now I have it. Now it is an emote on Kick. I have it as an emote in my Kick chat. I don't care. You know, it's in my past. It's not a big deal. You know, it's funny stuff. I agree. It was one of the most, it was, again, that's still to this day, it's the most embarrassing moment of my life, you know, but I'm happy that it's in the past, thankfully, you know, so that's a good thing that, and it's something silly to laugh at, you know, so it doesn't bother me. That's why I have it over there as an emote. No one even really uses it that much either. I can't do any emotes on YouTube because some people have asked me since I started streaming on Kick months ago, wow, you have all these cool emotes on Kick, all these motion ones. Can't you add any new emotes on YouTube? No, because what happened was years ago, okay, when they started with these fake member nonsense, okay, it was about a year and a half ago now. People discovered you could use a VPN to buy memberships on YouTube en masse for cheap. So my trolls went in there, and no lie, at one point they got me over like 3,000 members. Okay, this unlocked an incredible amount of emote slots. And so we filled them up, but now I'm locked at that number. The only way I can get more emotes is to get like over 3,000 members. Well, guess what? I have like 400, I think. I don't even know. I legit don't even know how many members I have on YouTube. I wonder. I wonder if I can even see that. Where would I look for that? I think here. Memberships. Let's see how many I have. Oh, I have a ton of fake members again. Someone came in here and was gifting fake members earlier this month. So I was at, yeah, I was right. I was at around between 400 and 500 members. Legit members, like people who like the content and pay and actually renew every month. And then these idiots came in and gifted me a whole ton of fake members this month. So now I'm over 1,000 again. And they're all fake. You know what I mean? They're all fake. I don't get anything for them. It's like pennies on the dollar. Anyway, so yeah, the only way that I could actually add more emotes on YouTube would be to have to get like 3,200 members or something insane like that, which is never going to happen. All right. So that's why I just can't add anything new on YouTube. I really wish YouTube would update. They would have motion animations in the chat, and they would do everything that everyone else does. You know, Kick and Twitch essentially are copies, and they have all this awesome stuff in the chat, and it doesn't work on YouTube. They never updated. Keep in mind, years ago, when I started streaming on YouTube full-time in, what was it, 2021, YouTube had a big announcement. We're going to update everything. We're going to add all these new moderation options. We're going to add all these new chat options. We're going to fully make our streaming better to incentivize people to come over to YouTube. And they started paying people to exclusively stream on YouTube. They then proceeded to literally not do any of that. They never updated anything. They didn't improve. They just kind of left it stagnant. So there's really no incentive to come stream on YouTube besides, oh, I just don't like Twitch because Twitch sucks and takes more money. Stupid. I like YouTube streaming because I can stream at the best quality. I'm streaming at 1440p there right now. You can't stream at 1440p on Twitch or Kick. You can only do it on YouTube. So that's why I like YouTube streaming. I can do high quality gameplay for you guys. So, no, to my knowledge, Kick doesn't do any sales. Like Hearts to Heart says, Twitch does discounts on subs every now and again. Does Kick do that? I don't think so. I know they do, like, remember they used to do September, where subs were like half price for all of September, and people would always get a big boost in subs and make a lot of money that month. Yeah, they don't do that anymore. Well, they don't do that on Kick at all, I don't think, right? I don't think so. Well, thank you. People are complimenting my shirt today. I'm glad that you like the shirt. Very soon, not yet, but very soon I am going to switch over to the more spring summer attire. Just not yet, because it's going to cool down again. Like tomorrow and it's going to be cooler again. So probably for another few weeks, I'll go back to wearing long sleeve stuff. But then probably by mid-April, the temperatures will start to increase, and I'll probably put in my air conditioner, and I'll be wearing stuff like this every day. Okay? Cool. All right. Well, good stuff. Let's now get to our news stories for today. And by the way, again, thank you for the support. Let's keep that moving. All right, who's going to be the new top tipper? Who's going to be the first person to gift the sub on Kick? No one? Let's get one gifted sub on Kick right now. Or let's get someone to become a sub on Kick right now who's not yet. Let's just get something. One kind of piece of support on Kick right now. Let's do it. Okay? Do I believe the Xbox is on their last legs? I believe the Xbox doesn't care. They don't see Xbox as a console anymore. They just see it as a platform of games, which is hilarious because it's not. It really isn't. Like, Xbox is not a platform for games. They believe they are, but they're just not a force in gaming. They were a console that had exclusives. They no longer have exclusives. So now they're saying, your phone is an Xbox. Your laptop is an Xbox. No, they're not. You incredible morons. They're not Xboxes. You just don't know what you're talking about. It's bad marketing because you're giving up because you suck and you don't know how to run your company. Okay. All right. We got a couple stories to cover. One of them is so incredibly stupid. I just want to get to it right now and get it out of the way. So we were just talking about City of the Wolves, Fatal Fury's new game that comes out in late April. Okay, April 24th to be exact, I believe. And the new beta is this weekend, right? Well, guess what? They have announced a guest character. Oh, is it a character from another fighting game franchise? Is it maybe a character from a different style of a fighting game, right? Like, or not fighting game, like video game. Maybe it's Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII in a fighting game again, because he's been in other fighting games before, right? No, it's Cristiano Ronaldo from football or soccer or whatever you call it where you live. I'm not kidding you. This is not a joke. They actually are bringing in an actual sports player to be a guest star in this game. I don't know why, but I do have a theory. For those who don't know, SNK Fighting Games, which is, this company, they make King of Fighters, Fatal Fury, Art of Fighting. They also make a lot of other games like Metal Slug and stuff like that. But basically, they are humongously huge in Spanish-speaking countries, including Mexico and Latin America and stuff like that. And you might say, why? Honestly, I don't know, but they are. These are actually like the premier fighting games. They've been huge in those countries, for a very long time. So I think what they decided was, let's get Cristiano Ronaldo as a guest star. I blocked him? Haha, someone said, why did I block him? I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. You know what it probably was? At one point, X was being stupid and put him in my feed, and he just wouldn't stop. I kept probably marking it. This is impertinent. I don't want to hear about football, but they probably kept doing it. So that sometimes if you just block it, then it just removes it completely from the data, and you won't get that anymore. That's probably what it was. I blocked Ronaldo. He's very insulting to me. Did you see he was trolling me on X? He was sending me very nasty tweets. So I had to block him. It's a shame. It's a shame he's so immature. Anyway, so I wonder, here's the real question. Will this guy actually bring any more attention or sales to the game? I don't know. I don't know if bringing a footballer into a fighting game will have the desired effect. I could see some people playing as him as a gimmick, like they had LeBron James in Multiverses, but I don't necessarily see it being that big of a deal. Do you want to watch this? It's only a minute long. Here we go.
He's an icon. A legend. And now, a fighter.
Do you honestly think that Cristiano Ronaldo knows anything about fighting games or even Fatal Fury? Like, if anything, he probably knows about like Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat. He has no idea what Fatal Fury is. They'd say, hey, we're going to pay you some money for you to do this green screen scene and put your likeness in the game. Is that okay? And he said, all I heard was money. Yes. He didn't even know what he said, yes. Money. Yes. Money. Good. Yes, please. Okay.
Let's do it.
That was fun.
So I guess they're going to have him as a voice actor. He's actually voice acting himself. Well, that's interesting. All right. He makes $650 million a year playing in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, now they gave him some money for this too. That's funny. Yeah. So I don't know, man. You tell me. Does that look good? He's fighting with a friggin' soccer ball. He's kicking it around, bouncing it off of the enemies. Does it look good? I don't know. I wonder if he'll be in the beta this weekend to try him out and see if he's any good or not. Okay. Anyway, so if you're interested, definitely check it out. I don't know if anyone's interested in Cristiano Ronaldo being in Fatal Fury. What do you guys think? Did I pre-order it yet? No, I didn't. I want to play it. See, that's the thing. Like, the first beta sucked ass. It was laggy, and I'm like, I wouldn't want to buy a game and play it online like that. So I was on the fence about even getting it. And now the new beta is this weekend, but I only get to play it one stream, so I'm not even really going to get to play that much. I might just pick new characters and mess around rather than pick My Shiranui again. Oh my God, excuse me. Woo! It's free money to him. Of course, all he had to do was show up, film the one green screen, and do a few voice lines, and that was it. It was probably like 2 hours of work for him, and they probably paid him a few $1 million. So it's like, yeah, sure, I'll take your money. Why not? Okay. All right, let's continue. We have another news story I'd like to cover. But before we do, folks, come on. Let's get some more support. Let's get our first sub today over on Kick. Let's get someone to get a sub on Kick, whether a legit one or a gifted one. Let's get our first sub of the day. And same thing here on YouTube. Let's get our first membership on YouTube, whether someone joins or someone gifts one to a fellow viewer. Let's get some support via the memberships and subs. That's what we haven't had. And of course, let's get someone who's going to top the $10 tip, or the $6 tip, excuse me. Who's going to top that, and who's going to also become the new top super chatter. Let's get it going. They probably think Speed will play it now. Who? I show Speed. Why? Is he like Cristiano Ronaldo? What's up, Ryu and Suiko? How you doing? Welcome to the Suikoden stream. That's what I was told that's how you pronounce it. It's Suikoden. Suikoden! That's how you pronounce the game. Okay. Okay. Fatal Fury, Marco Ronaldo. There you go. He's a Ronaldo super fan? Oh, yeah. No, I learned nothing about soccer playing FIFA. Nope. Absolutely not. Okay. All right. Our next story of the day is kind of interesting. All right. Here's why our next story is interesting. A few weeks ago, I covered a topic regarding Street Fighter 6. It was actually about a month ago at this point now, I think. And the topic was this. I felt that Street Fighter 6 was being ruined because too many people in the modern day rush to the internet and share the meta of these fighting games right away. And because they do, there is no actual time frame when people have discovery, where they play the game and they learn it at their own pace, and different people discover different things and play differently. And then those strategies are refined through competition. Instead, everything about a game is known within the first few weeks. The meta is discovered, and then these characters just aren't interesting anymore. Notably, Mai Shiranui, when she first came out, no one knew what to do with her for a couple of days. But then within a few days, all the breakdown videos were online, all the footage was online, and therefore the character just wasn't that interesting anymore. Okay? At that time, I started a discussion. And I said, did you notice that basically with these fighting games today, there is no real originality? It's not like when you're playing a fighting game back in the day, once one person would pick Ryu, and their gameplay style with Ryu in Street Fighter 2 would be, I'm keeping away. I'm just going to pelt you with fireballs, and I'm going to uppercut with a Shoryuken when you jump, and I'm going to try to sweep, and that's it. I'll keep you away. That's my Ryu gameplay. But then someone else would pick Ryu, and that Ryu would actually do mid-range footsies, strategies, try to mix you up, do combos, all right? And then another person would pick Ryu, and they'd have another unique strategy, okay? So you would play old-school fighting games, and they would all feel completely unique and different depending on who you were playing. A one Chun-Li would be rush down, constantly trying to hit you and throw you into throw loops. Another Chun-Li would be complete keep away with fireballs and her up kicks. And it felt great because of that. Fighting games felt interesting, different, unique, and fresh. You would go to a tournament and play someone, and you'd be like, wow, I've never experienced what I just saw before, and I learned something. So your trip out to the tournament felt like it was worth it because you would actually learn. Today, these games have been so dumbed down, and they're so easy to play with absolutely no skill required to do any of the combos or moves. They're all easy mode shit. There's no actual practice really required outside of sitting in the lab for an hour or two. You've learned everything. And with everyone posting all of the meta strategies online right away, the era of discovery is gone. The era of individuality has left the building. Why is it that every time that we play Street Fighter 6 and we face a Cammy, a Jury, a JP, it always feels like you're fighting exactly the same person, despite the fact you're not? You're actually fighting the same strategies, the same stuff over and over. The game's been designed that way, okay? This is a major problem, in my opinion. This is why people are bored of playing games like Street Fighter 6. And saying, wow, this game sucks. Mai came out, the game was refreshed for 2-3 weeks, and now no one cares about Street Fighter 6 anymore. It's like, who cares? When's Elena coming out? The next DLC character. Jeez, right? So, at the time that I was talking about this, Button Check, who is a online content creator on YouTube who covers fighting games, actually picked up the story and actually covered a video or two of mine where I talked about it, and we kind of went back and forth a little bit about the discussion. And where we ended the discussion was simple. The end of the discussion was thus. DSP is saying this now, but no one wants to ever listen to DSP. Everyone wants to turn DSP into the butt of a joke. No one likes him, right? Especially in the fighting game community, even though, as you guys know, I'm literally not a part of the fighting game community. I don't go to tournaments. I don't play games competitively. So why on earth does anyone in the fighting game community have a grudge against me? I have no fucking clue. I have not been a part of the FGC for literally, like, I would argue, 15 years. Like, the last time I cared about competitive Street Fighter was probably around the era of Street Fighter 4. So why anyone in the FGC gives two shits and doesn't like me and has a grudge against me and what I have to say, I don't know. Why people would say, oh, it's DSP, write him off, I don't know. I mean, I was back there in the formative years of Street Fighter, grinding it out in arcades, playing in tournaments, running tournaments. The track record is there and the history is there. But just because I'm DSP, apparently I'm not supposed to be paying attention. Right? Or, no, don't listen to this guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Fine. So anyway, we had the discussion, all right, that back when Street Fighter V came out, within the first few months of the game out, I highly criticized the game. And I said, listen, this game is not good. It's too flowcharty. The connections online are awful. The game is not a competitive, fun game. It doesn't hold a candle to previous Street Fighters. It's the worst one ever. Everyone yelled at me, panned me. How dare he say that? Because this was the big new fighting game and you're supposed to be hyped for it, right? Within 2 years, everyone agreed with me. And when Street Fighter V was retired for Street Fighter 6, almost every pro came out saying, yeah, this game was actually quite bad. Street Fighter 6 is better. I was there saying it at first. No one wanted to listen. But now it's actually the popular opinion. So here we are in Street Fighter 6. Okay? And I'm saying this game, sadly, is too easy to play. People are exposing the meta too early online. It's ruining the game. It's making it stagnant. It's making it boring. And it's making it that every time you fight a person, it doesn't feel unique. You're fighting the same bot, the same pattern. You're not fighting that person in the unique flair of gameplay. It's just, how do I perform the flowchart better than the next person to win easily, right? So, I say this, and Button Check actually said it in his content. Is it that because DSP is saying it, that no one will listen? Do people actually agree with this sentiment? But because DSP says it, it doesn't matter, and then in 2-3 years, all of a sudden, everyone else will say it publicly and agree. Well, it's happening faster than you thought. Because, ladies and gentlemen, pros and or former pros are starting to now step up and criticize Street Fighter 6 in a way that I feel like they should. And I'm glad that people are finally having balls to do so. And in fact, the person who I'm highlighting today is not only one of the best Street Fighter players of all time in the United States, but also is well regarded as someone who knows his shit when he talks about games. The person I'm talking about is a person who I used to actually play against and run tournaments in and for back in the day, Sanford Kelly. One of the best Marvel 2 players of all time, if not arguably the best Marvel Play 2 of all time. Maybe you could say Justin Wong was better, Yipes was better, but he's definitely up there, right? So here's what he had to say about Street Fighter in the modern era, okay? Street Fighter 4 was very special to me because of the skill and mastery. I miss watching Street Fighter streams and seeing character-specific combos and trades into stuff. The execution and reactions people had were insane to play against and watch. I miss that era of Street Fighter. Gee, does that sound familiar? Does that sound familiar to anyone? It kind of sounds like what I was saying. That essentially, Street Fighter now is boring. Because no one plays individually. No one thinks for themselves. There's no era of discovery. Everyone just knows the meta within 2 weeks, copies each other. And now when you go to a tournament or you watch a tournament, it's boring as shit. There's no individuality. He's absolutely right. In Street Fighter 4, there was character-specific setups. There was actually, this person's so good with this character, they've mastered the game and now play it differently than someone else and can kick ass. They can pick a low-tier character and dominate with the low tier. Let's read some of the supplies. Some of the replies. Yeah, man, me too. I'm just looking at a match and immediately knowing who is playing simply because of their play style. Street Fighter 4 era was a special time. In terms of gameplay, I didn't even need to be able to play like the pros to follow streams and tournaments. All I needed was to play the game myself to understand what I'm watching. So dumbing down Street Fighter 5 and 6 for casual still hurt my interest in the games. Street Fighter 4 having Chun played by multiple people, you could feel the style each had. Each played her differently. Street Fighter 6, you can't tell one Akuma or Ken apart from the other. Gee, it seems like people agree with me. Except because Sanford said it, now it's cool. But when DSP said it a month ago, oh, fuck DSP, he doesn't know what he's talking about, right? I know a lot of people feel the same way you do. The same people should put in work to try to keep the game alive. My personal favorite set, it shows a Seth set. Crazy part is it's literally just nostalgia goggles. The games are as exciting to watch, if not more, than they've ever been. We're just getting older and things aren't as fun as they used to be. Wrong. You're a child. You're actually a child. You weren't around during the era when Street Fighter was exciting. Now you watch a tournament and it's boring. Back then it used to be, oh my God, are you telling me this top level person's going to face this top level person? It's a never before seen match and we're going to see crazy levels of competition and things we've never seen before. It was epic. Now it doesn't matter who the fuck's playing. It's all the same crap. This is a good one. The time of Street Fighter 4 and Marvel 3 was the last era where you could watch a tournament and actually have a chance to see something you've never seen before. Stuff you didn't even know was possible. It was an amazing era. And again, why? Because now everything is put on the internet immediately. The meta is already spoiled. There's no reason for it because competitively it makes no sense to do it. If you know tech, keep the tech. Use it in a tournament for your advantage. Why would you give it to everyone? Why would you tell the secret of how to play something competitively to the world? It doesn't make any fucking sense. But these people do it. It's like they're just morons. Hey, just give away the keys to the kingdom. And now the game is boring within a few months. Right? Like, here we go. Same, watching offline tournament streams to watch one person be a specialist with one character. Watch use Oni and Sagat. Zeus would use Vega. Sako would use Evil Ryu. Now you can run videos of 5 players using the same character. You could never guess who was using them outside of hit confirms. There you go. I mean, I can just keep going. All right? But the funny part is they're all saying, oh, here you go. Street Fighter 4 high-level tournaments were timeless. Now it's just throw loop and 50-50. Exactly right. You get to the corner, throw loop, 50-50 guess, throw loop, 50-50 guess. That's Street Fighter 6 in a nutshell now. It's awful. Okay, it really is awful. So there you go. And the funny part is, I say it about Street Fighter 2. Why do I say it about Street Fighter 2? Because that's the era I was around for. These guys are nostalgic about Street Fighter 4 because that was their nostalgic era. For those who don't know, Sanford is younger than me, and he didn't play the classics like I did. He got into it around the era of Marvel 2. So to him, the nostalgia factor is going to be starting around Marvel 2 through like Street Fighter 4. For me, it's Street Fighter 2. Do you see? So it's true. It's not just me saying it. People are agreeing. But because I said it, erase it, it doesn't matter because that's DSP saying it, right? So maybe what I should do is I should just take my takes and I should bring them to other people in the FGC and have them say them instead. Seriously. Maybe that's just what I should do. Don't say it myself in my own content. Instead, let's just have someone else say it and then they'll actually get traction and people will talk to them about it and believe them. Because this is a major problem with Street Fighter 6. 100%. The game's too easy to play. The game doesn't have any kind of skill check at all besides sitting in a lab for an hour practicing a combo or a strategy. Everyone is exposing the meta of every character within a few days. Therefore, everything is boring within a week or two. And no one, like I said, that's exactly what happened with Mai Shiranui. Oh, a new character. This is exciting. And people ran and played with her for a week. And then on week 2, everything was already exposed. By week 3, no one cared. Everyone's bored. We're on to other stuff. When's Elena coming out? That's not supposed to be the life cycle of a fighting game. There's supposed to be this entire time period where people are playing and learning and discovering for themselves, and then they try different strategies against each other in a competitive environment until finally, after weeks to months to years of arduous practice, people figure it out. Not, oh, we spoiled the whole game within hours of it being. Like, what are you doing, you fucking morons? You're ruining competitive gaming by doing that. You literally are. You've taken out all of the fun era. I just don't get it. I don't get why these people keep doing it. Anyway, Moritarian says, well, how would you fix the issue? Well, to be frank, there is a way to fix the issue. It's just that Capcom doesn't like it. Okay? Do you want to know the way to fix the issue? Make fighting games hard to play again. Make it so that you actually need to have skill to play a fighting game. Not that every character can be played in a silly easy mode pattern and you just need to memorize the pattern. But that's what they've become because they want to sell to a maximum audience, you see? In an era when moves were actually hard to pull off all the time, combos needed really tough frame-specific timing. Footsies were required to actually play a fighting game, right? You know, not this character can completely skip neutral, but instead you need to have knowledge of how to play with zoning and stuff like that. You know, make them hard to play again. Now, what'll happen is immediately 60% of the scrubby ass bitches who can't play fighting games and only play them because they're easy mode will drop off. But the game will be good again. And now tournaments will be fun. And now people won't be able to spoil the meta in 5 seconds because guess what? It's too hard to pull off the meta. Like right now, there are top players in Super Turbo who are insanely good with T-Hawk. But guess what? T-Hawk's the hardest character in the game to play with. So unless you're insanely superbly good, you'll never win a tournament with T-Hawk. But people are doing it. It's just that it's hard to do. Right now, if you expose the meta of Street Fighter 6, it's super easy to do it with any character, so everyone could just do it and the game is boring. That's what they got to do. Bring back tough timing, execution, frame-specific moves, footsies, space, all the shit that's been removed for pattern, guessing, pattern, throw loop, 50-50, pattern. Get rid of it all. Bring it back to basics. Make it tough to play. Make it so that you have to get the fucking sweats to win a tough match instead of I just flowchart it. But then everyone will quit who's a scrub. But your game will be good. It's kind of like I've been saying all along. In the modern era, the people who are making new games aren't making them to make them good or meaningful. Like back in the day when a good video game came out, it was we want to make the most competitive game ever. We want to make the most artistic game ever, right? We want to make a memorable moment. Now it's just, how do we sell the game? How do we make maximum profits? How do we make it that the game is played by everyone? Doesn't matter if the game's good, just make it addictive or catchy or easy. Then everyone will play it and we're rich. Well, that's great, but then you end up with Street Fighter 6. A fucking boring-ass game that plays exactly the same for everyone, that you get exposed within 2 to 3 weeks, everything's known, and everyone's just bored and just wants another character, and they don't put out enough content to really satisfy the audience. That's what you'll get. That's your end result. You dumbed it down to sell, and now the game sucks. It's Capcom's fault. There you go. Okay. All right, folks. I got some more contributions. We got a $2 super chat from Hello Voltage. Which bills are your priority right now? What are you talking about? What bills are my? I don't have. I pay all my bills. I don't have priority of bills. They all get paid. I don't even know what that even means. Why would you even ask me that randomly on a stream? It was a bizarre question. Got a couple small tips here. Oh, here we go. Someone tipped me $1.50, says Cristiano actually has kids and they're huge SNK fans. He did it for free to make his kids happy. I don't know. I don't know if I believe that. Is that public knowledge that he did it completely for free? I don't know about that. Where he's from, SNK cabinets have been there for decades. See, that's what I'm saying. In Spanish-speaking cultures, particularly in Latin America, okay, SNK games are huge. They're actually like more popular than Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. So, you know, maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Thank you for that tip. And then there's another one. It's a troll. So I'm just going to ignore them. Okay. All right. So, I did have some other stuff to cover, but we're getting late. So I don't think we're gonna cover it today. Basically, it was about some of the free games for like PS Plus and stuff, but we don't have to talk about that. If you're interested, RoboCop Rogue City will be the free game for PS Plus in April. So if you're a PS Plus subscriber, Rogue City is a really good game. I played about 1.5 years ago and I loved it. Give it a look, okay? Okay. We have some extra time. Let's see what you guys want to talk about. We're almost halfway to the goal. Guys, let's get it. How about this? By the end of the podcast, let's hit $100 because then we only have 50 to worry about during the entirety of the gameplay segment. I know we can hit it. All right? I know we can hit it. So let's get to $100 by the end of this show. Let's get more support. Like I said, someone has to gift a sub on Kick at this point. Let's get one piece of support over on Kick, shall we? And then how about a membership on YouTube? Or will someone top our top tipper, which is $6? That's easy to do, right? What's going on, Game Boy? How you doing today? What's up, Avarice? How are you? What's everyone doing? What's everyone thinking today? Piano-ish, you're full of crap. Arch the Heart says, have you bought a physical game magazine in the last 12 months? I haven't bought a physical game magazine since, let me think about this. Bought or received? I used to receive physical game magazines because I used to be part of the GameStop Power Up Rewards. And when you were part of that, you would automatically get Game Informer mailed to you every month. So I had it for a while. And then when I moved here, I still had it for a little bit. And then I canceled it after moving here, after like a year. So basically, I haven't had that since in about 10 years. I haven't had a physical magazine, I think. Do I think accessibility in games should go away? No, not at all. That's not the problem with Street Fighter 6. There's a difference between accessibility, and that accessibility is someone has like a physical handicap and they want to enjoy a fighting game. versus actually just making the game so piss easy to play. No challenge at all. And that's Street Fighter 6 in a nutshell. That's the problem with Street Fighter 6. It's too easy. No, modern controls didn't ruin Street Fighter 6. That's not true. At first, everyone thought they would. Everyone thought the game would become way too easy. But at this point, no, I don't think so. Now that we're this far into Street Fighter 6, how often do you see modern control players dominating? You don't. And they even allow it in tournament and it just doesn't dominate. So I don't think that's the case at all. It's not the controls and the inputs, it's the engine. The engine is too easy to learn and just pattern play it. And there's no real high-level skill checks in the game at all. There's 0 high-level skill checks in the game, actually. Okay, so let's open up now for the conclusion of the podcast. It's been a good show, by the way. I actually enjoyed the show today. Let's open up to Q&A. You guys tag me in the chat. We'll do a little bit of Q&A back and forth to end the show. And then we'll jump into Suikoden. Do I think physical skill checks are different from mental ones? Yes. Because there's a difference between having to get execution of timing and skill with your hands and brain versus actually having the knowledge to know what to do. Like, I can tell you this, playing Super Turbo, probably the hardest I've ever played was against Dai. And it was during the qualifiers for SBO way back when. I think it was like 2011 was when we went to Tennessee and we were playing on cabinet. And it was me versus Dai, and I was using DJ and he was using Ryu. Okay? And let me tell you, that was insane because actually, here's what happened. Okay? I was playing Dai, and to win that match, you have to play incredibly hard to win with DJ. You can win. It's a winnable match, but you have to play incredibly hard. So we started. And when we actually started, I was playing at an incredibly high level, and I beat him the first round or game, if I remember correctly. But I became so mentally drained. Like, it was actually taking everything I had to stay on that mental level to say, what's he going to do next? Predict what he's going to do. Okay, I see something, react to it. Perfect reaction, break the throw, do this. And it was so challenging that after I think I beat him like the one match or one round or one set, because I can't remember, it was so long ago, I just couldn't do it for the rest. Like, I actually became so mentally exhausted. It wasn't that I was physically exhausted, my hands were tired, and I couldn't play. My mind actually became 100% drained. And I was like, the only way that I could play at that level endlessly would be to keep challenging myself to play people of that high level all the time, which just wasn't available to me. I didn't have people of that high level of Super Turbo to play all the time. I wasn't interested in investing that much time into it because I was a YouTuber at that time and I wanted to put more time into my videos. So I got so tired. I was like, that was it. I didn't tap out. I played and finished the set, but he beat me. I couldn't play at that level anymore. I literally, the first set was superb perfection and I kicked his ass. And then after that, I just got increasingly more sloppy and fell apart and lost. So mental fortitude and mental stamina is something very different than physical, for sure. It's completely different. Would I enter a tournament? Would I ever enter a tournament again? I don't know. I said probably the only reason that I would ever enter a tournament again would be like the last hurrah. Like, this is it for me. I'm really never going to care about it ever again. And people, since I've been a YouTuber, people have always said, would you ever go to a tournament? Would you enter? And I'm like, I just don't like the fighting games enough to do it. You know, think about, since I've been a YouTuber, what fighting games have been out, right? Well, there was Street Fighter 4, and I did enter tournaments and stuff for that in the vanilla phase, but then after it got to like Super and like the third version of it, I stopped playing it, right? I would only play it casually at home. I would not enter tournaments. Marvel 3 and Ultimate Marvel 3, I never liked. I did try tournaments in those. I just never liked the game, so I never really continued to play that. Then we had the reboot of Mortal Kombat. which I enjoyed playing. But again, I never felt at a competitive level that I was something that I was interested in. We had Injustice, which again was the same, fun to play online and mess around with, but I never cared about competitively. We had various Tekken games, Tekken Tag Tournament 2, right? Which I did play for a while online. But again, I'm not a Tekken tournament player. Same thing with Tekken 8. Like, I liked it, but I would have had to invest so much time and energy into it to get good at it that I wasn't going to be able to play any other fighting games. So I didn't do that. Street Fighter V, I absolutely hated, didn't care for at all. Of course, there was Street Fighter Cross Tekken, which no one cared for, right? And then there's Street Fighter 6. So out of all the games, that I basically played during my YouTube era, and there's been others in there too, like Dead or Alive and dumb shit like that. But really, Street Fighter 6 has been the only one that's really been prominent enough that if I actually cared enough about it, I would enter a tournament, but I just don't want to. I don't want to play it to the level where I have to have massive meta studied, the muscle memory, sitting in the lab, fucking around, going to tournaments, playing offline. I just don't care, So to me, like, if ever I was to enter a tournament again, it would probably be like an old school tournament, like Super Turbo or Marvel 1 or Marvel 2 or Third Strike. Something to that effect would be probably what I would want to enter. And it would probably be like a last hurrah event for me, like me saying, this is it. This is officially my final tournament. I don't have any desire to play this stuff competitively anymore. So I'll play my absolute hardest this one time, just get it all out of my fucking system, and then I'm done. That would probably be the only situation. You probably would never see me playing one of these brand new fighting games at a tournament. I just don't care. But maybe one of the old ones, okay? No, I was never good at Soul Calibur. I was never in any circles. I was never in any circles where basically anyone really played Soul Calibur at a competitive level. No. DHD, there is no Nintendo Switch Direct tomorrow. The Switch Direct is what, April 2nd? You got your dates off. It's next week. Okay. I got a couple more contributions here. I received a $7 tip, so we have a new top tipper. So this person says, hold on, let me play an animation for them. Apparently they're anonymous, I believe. I don't think there's a name involved here, but they're $7. So our top tip now is $7. Thank you for that. That gets us up to, excuse me, 74 of support. So we're about halfway to our goal. Thank you guys for that during the podcast. I appreciate it. So here's what they have to say. I'm 10 plus hours into Assassin's Creed Shadows. It's definitely a bore fest. The side quests are boring and grindy. I'm just focusing on the story to try to get the platinum. There's unlimited grindy outposts. I can see why you dropped the game. It just doesn't get better. It's just not a good investment of your time. There you go. They literally, again, and this is like the millionth time Ubisoft has done this, they went for quantity over quality. All they cared about was saying, our game can be like 60 hours long, rather than saying, oh, our game has 20 awesome hours. It was just 60 hours long. That's pathetic. It's 2025. It's time to cut the bullshit. Okay. All right. I received a $3 tip. Oh, there is a Nintendo Direct now announced for tomorrow at 7 a.m. The last bit of Nintendo Switch news before they do Switch 2. Oh, I didn't know that. I missed that. Okay. So no, I have no predictions. It sounds like this is the last hurrah for the Switch 1, right? Like maybe they'll be featuring the final games that are going to be the big Switch 1 releases before the Switch 2 comes out. Okay, I had no clue. Thank you for sharing. I guess we'll just see. I'll keep my ear to the ground. I'll pay attention to the news, and tomorrow I'll cover some of those stories on the podcast, okay? Excuse me. Busy Style Man says their pay to progress model demands bloated game length. Well, yeah, they realize that they're going to have people who buy the game and don't want to grind for 60 hours. So instead, they'll drop another $20, $30 to buy the resources to just turbo through the game. I mean, it's incredibly stupid, but they realize that. Again, everyone's following that mobile gaming model or the microtransaction model, right? And that's bad, but I think that's where all these companies are trying to go. Let's see here. Spawn Killer says, I remember when you said you were offered to go on WCG Ultimate Gamer. Yeah, I was. back in the day when I was becoming a prominent YouTuber, so probably the first few years, you know, when I was still on the Dark Side Field channel, I had just gone to DSP Gaming, and DSP Gaming was blowing up, and I had partnered with Machinima, so I was just starting to make money. I got contacted by the runners of Ultimate Gamer, and they said, would you want to be on our reality show, our gaming reality show? And, you know, I went back and forth with them for a little bit about it, but I didn't get too far into the discussion. It was very basic. It was like, oh, thanks for contacting me or whatever. And we were cordial back and forth. But after maybe like one or two back and forth, I thought about it. I was like, I don't want to be on a fucking reality show. I'm making content for an audience. They really like the content I'm putting out there. And I get it. This could give me exposure to a whole new audience, right? But the reason they had contacted me is because I was actually more popular than the other people in the FGC at that time. Of course, now, fuck that. Now I'm not popular at all. But back then I was. I actually was one of the most prominent fighting game content creators on YouTube. People would come to DSP Gaming and then later DSP Street Fighter to watch endless amounts of fighting game content that I would pump out. Sets, you know, offline, online, all kinds of content. I did it with FGC back then. So because I was one of the most prominent ones, they wanted me on the show. They didn't care that I wasn't a current pro player. They didn't give a shit. They just wanted whoever was popular. So they reached out to me, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, you know, nah, I don't want to do it. I don't think so, because I would much rather just do my own content, see where it takes me, and I didn't really want to care about appealing to the FGC, because that's really why they wanted me on the show. They wanted me to be like the FGC guy, but he's also controversial and stuff like that. And I thought about it, I just don't care. Like, I knew at that time I didn't want to be just FGC content, that I wanted to branch out and do variety content. And that's what I was doing. So I felt like it would have been misrepresenting who I was, because they were going to present me as the fighting game guy on the show. And I was like, nah. So I said no. And then after that, they reached out to a few other people, and they ended up getting Justin Wong. And Justin was the guy that they had on that season of the show instead of me. But I didn't care. You know, all that reality shit was stupid. It was all, they were all trying to copy the TV shows of the time, and they didn't have budgets, and the shows were staged and shit. They were really lame. So I'm glad that I wasn't a part of that. I've already said I don't have a parrot. I don't have a bird. You guys are idiots. It's literally the neighbor's kids outside of my house who's making that noise in the videos. I've literally explained already, but people just keep repeating it because you guys are just mentally deficient, and you pass around these nonsensical memes that you just want to believe. I don't have a bird. I don't. Excuse me. I don't know if I would ever play Terminator Resistance, actually. People have said it's from the same people who made RoboCop. I don't know. No, Crusader Kings 3, it's one of those, isn't a strategy game. If it's one of those strategy-based games, I don't think it would be for my audience. I mean, I've never played a game like that, so I don't know if I would like it, but I don't think the audience, I don't think it would really resonate. No, I don't follow anything with the Howard Stern show. I don't know anything about an Artie scandal or whatever. I don't know what you're talking about. Nor do I really care. I haven't cared about that stuff in a very long time. All right, anything else, guys? Anything else you want to tag me in the chat? Any other questions? And guys, we're halfway to the goal. Like I said, I would like to end the show at $100. So that way we only have the 50 to worry about when playing Suikoden. So let's hit it. We're right there. Who's going to be the next top tipper? Top tipper is currently what, $7? Let's get it. $8 tipper. Super chat's $19.99. Who's going to do a $20 super chat to be the top super chatter? And again, we still don't have any support on Kick, and we still haven't gotten a membership. Let's get some memberships and some subs moving. It's a role-playing game more than anything. I don't know. I've heard of Crusader Kings, but I don't know. I don't know anything about history. I don't know anything about history to share. I'm not a history buff at all. No, I don't care about DLCs for Mortal Kombat 1, and I never will. I didn't like the base game, so why would I care about the DLCs? Excuse me. All right. No, Hearts to Hearts, we're going to start fresh. We looked into my old Minecraft world, and it wasn't there. Um, People are surmising that if I hooked up an Xbox and I linked my Xbox account to it and I tried to boot up Minecraft on there, that maybe the world would download. But at this point, I mean, it was a great run. It was a year of work, but it's been so many years removed from going into that Minecraft world. I just don't see the appeal anyway. I think when we do this birthday marathon that people are interested in, Minecraft, what I should do is just play it from scratch and try to relearn everything. There's actually a spring update coming out soon that might be interesting anyway. So I just start with all the fresh stuff. I don't even know what a hardcore world is, Blucher, so probably not. There's always a chance that I would do either Persona 3 Remake or Metaphor, but not anytime soon. If you only have one life, if you die, the world is completely deleted. I don't think I'll be doing that. That'd be pretty frustrating, no? That'd be pretty dumb. Okay, time to end the show? I guess so. Well, we didn't hit the $100 like I wanted, but it's all good. We got more than halfway to the goal with 3 hours of gameplay of Suikoden coming up. Let's hit that goal. Let's get to 76, and let's continue on with the streak of getting full support for Suikoden and getting classic RPGs support in the mix. Remember, if this keeps getting support, I would consider playing the sequel over the summer. I don't see why not, right? Okay. All right, folks. Thank you for watching the Level 1 podcast. Quick reminder that tonight, sadly, there is no late stream. I got to take care of personal stuff, but I'll be back tomorrow. It sounds like I'll be covering this Nintendo Direct and whatever final information they've got about the Switch 1 and games before the Switch 2 Direct next week. So that'll be fun. And of course, I'll be talking about how Suikoden went and all of that. So thank you guys for a great show. I'll see you all tomorrow for a week-ending podcast. Peace out and see you then.